In this video, we're going to cover function machines. Function machines have three main parts: input, the function, and the output. Input can be any number, so for example, 10. Let's make it easy. The function can be any type of mathematical calculation, so for example, dividing by 2. That's the function in this machine. So when you put in 10, the function does his thing, 10 divided by 2, and the output will be 5. So the output is actually your input changed by that function. So now there's two things you need to be able to do. You have to find the input and find the output. First of all, the easiest thing to do is when you get a function, for example, plus 2, and you get the input, let's say the input here is 6, right? You have to find what the output is. 6 plus 2, well, that's easy. The output will be 8. Sometimes you'll have double function machines like this. The first function dividing by 2, and the second function is going to be plus 3. Okay, if my input is 7, let's say 7. 7 divided by 2, that's 3.5. 3.5 plus 3, that will make 6.5. So my input is 7, and my output was 6.5. So ins, outs. Okay, a bit more difficult is finding the input when you have an output. So you don't know where your input is, but for example, dividing by 4 is your machine or your function, and you know that your output should be 12. Well, something divided by 4 is equal to 12. That's a bit tricky, so you have to find a number, and then when you divide it by 4, you get 12. In order to find the input, we're going to change, or we're going to reverse the machine and use your output. But when we reverse the machine, notice that my arrows switch sides. We're going to use the inverse operation of our machine. So the opposite operation. The opposite of dividing by 4, well, is going to be times 4. So 12 times 4, what does that make? That makes 48. So let's have a look. 48, that should be your input. Let's double check. 48 divided by 4, is that 12? Yeah, it is. Okay. Now, finding the input will become harder and harder once we have double functions. For example, let's have a look. The output is 25. You're looking for your input, and let's have a look at the machines. Let's say it's plus 2 times 5. So you have to find a number, and then when you add 2 and then multiply by 5, you get 25. Alright, we're looking for an input, so we're going to reverse the machine. Always do it step by step. We're going to start with our output. Alright, the inverse operation of times 5 is dividing by 5. And the inverse operation, or the opposite operation of plus 2 is of course minus 2. So if you follow these steps, we should get our input. 25 divided by 5, that's 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. And let's double check. What if this is 3? 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Yeah, indeed, got it. Okay, so inverse operations will be important when looking for the input. So inverse operations, the inverse operation of adding is subtracting. The inverse operation of subtracting is adding. Inverse operation of multiplying obviously will be dividing, and same way this goes for dividing, the opposite or the inverse operation will be multiplying. So this is something you really have to remember in order to do the exercises. Alright, good luck.